Hi, everyone. Today is Thursday, June 6th, the 75th anniversary of D-Day and the storming of Normandy. I hope you folks have had a chance to listen to President Trump's speech that he gave at the memorial service today with Macron and his wife. And apparently we had some of our congressmen and senators were there as well. I have only been able to hear the beginning of it. I haven't been able to get through the whole thing because I've been on the phone a lot today. But I highly recommend that, like me, you try to find it and listen to it. Even Acosta said it was the greatest speech he's given since he became president. So, you know, it's kind of nice to see CNN acknowledging our president in any possible way. So that's a great thing. Larry's not able to be with us right now. He is having a consultation on his physical status, medical status. That is, I sent out an email. If you did not get one, send me a text, 240-499-6729. I can't text back. There's something wrong with my phone right now. I can receive text, but I can make phone calls. I can still make a phone call and call you back. So if you want more details on what's going on with Larry, text me or join the conference call that we are going to have in 1 hour. That phone number is in the right up underneath the video here, but the phone number for the conference call is 712-451-0725. The access code is 492215 #. So you are welcome to join us, and I can say a little more on the conference call that I cannot say here on the YouTube because it's just not safe. Other people who are on YouTube have Patreon, and you get more insider information if you pay for Patreon, and they do special events and special broadcasts on Patreon. Larry believes everybody should have free access to his information. He wants to help all of us know what's coming and be aware and be prepared. And so he doesn't like the idea of people being forced to pay for information. We did try a newsletter last year. We had people pay for a subscription for 6 months. And he was sick and wasn't able to do as much as we had hoped. And so, you know, we ended up dropping that. Now, whether we pick it up again or not, I'm not sure. We haven't said anything about that. The conference call on Thursday is at 4 Eastern, 3 Central, so it'll be in an hour. Larry, an update on Larry. Larry is meeting with a medical team right now. Larry has, and I did announce it last night on the conference call, and I will talk about it again on the conference call in 1 hour. He has an incredible opportunity that provides a 95% cure rate for what he's dealing with. He would not have to continue with his treatments if that were to take effect. He's in excruciating pain constantly, and if the body could heal itself, that would be just incredible, because not that there wouldn't be some pain, because he's got shrapnel in his body that they can't remove, and that does cause difficulty and pain for him. But with what he's going through with his difficulty in breathing and so on, you hear it in his voice. To be able to have a cure rate, that would be absolutely incredible. We need another $2,000 to pay for it. If anybody has access to money to help him get into this program ASAP immediately, I mean, they wanted to start him this weekend, I think. I'm not sure, but they wanted to start immediately, and he's asking for a little bit of time because we're still 2,000 short for what he needs to be able to do this. If there is any way you can offer any part of that $2,000, please contact me at 240-499-6729. You can send money to Larry through PayPal. His account is Nichols Live, Live, Nichols Live at AOL.com. There's no first name, just Nichols Live at AOL.com on PayPal. And just go ahead and send it so he knows, he can let the doctor know he's got this money. And that'll help them with timing. He is begging for a little more time. No, it's not right to try, Don. It is, if you can be on the conference call in an hour, I'll give you more details. I don't have a lot of details about it, but I do know that whatever it is, it has a 95% cure rate. And I double checked with him. I said, are you sure they used the word cure? And he said, yes, they definitely used the word cure. So it's an absolute incredible opportunity. If you cannot donate anything, then would you please pray that in the next 24 hours we can find another $2,000. The fact that we have quite a bit already is amazing. And I cannot take this phone call. It's from Illinois, but I'll have to just call them back. And I have no idea who that would be. So Larry gave me some other information to share with you. First of all, I want to remind you that Hannity is the one that has been tasked with putting out the information a little bit at a time about what's going on with the progress against the deep state, letting people know, we can't indict, they can't indict right now because they don't have an honest court to go into. President Trump had 3 judges with purview in New York, Virginia, and DC, when in his first 2 years. He had to start over. That dropped out then in 2018 when we had the new members of Congress coming in. And so at the midterm elections. So he has put forth 4 judges now that have purview that should create an honest court for prosecution of these people that we are wanting to get equal justice. The Senate knows this, and they are sitting on these appointments and are refusing to approve them. Now, I've asked Larry, should we make phone calls? Will that help? And he doesn't think it will. So please be in prayer about that. Now, yesterday I talked about Ecclesiastes 4, 1 and 2. That's where Ezekiel was told to create a map of Jerusalem. He said, get a clay tablet and draw the city of Jerusalem. Well, I suggested to you that you get a map of Washington, D.C. And I went to my maps, and I have one now sitting on the piano, and every time I walk by, I stop for a minute and I lay my hands on that map. This is something I've done in the past, like I described yesterday, but I am laying my hand on the map. I got goosebumps yesterday. It was like electricity flowing through my body from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet when I realized this is a biblical principle. Ezekiel was told to have a map, and then he was to pray against it. He was to lay siege. Well, we're laying siege with our hands, and if you cannot come to Washington to pray with me, Washington, D.C., to pray with me, and let's take back our country there are others who have done this, but I have a real sense of urgency that it needs to be done again. Put your hand on the map. We are doing this every day at 10 Central, 11 Eastern in prayer with the conference call line. And we have a team, and we are claiming DC. We are praying for our president. We are praying for Larry. We are praying about the issues. We are praying for each one another. But we have got to break this demonic stronghold over our city, over our capital. And so Larry wants everybody to know that he is working on something that's going to break this case wide open against the deep state people that we're wanting prosecuted. I can't say what he's working on because I don't know. It's highly confidential. He has mentioned that he's working on something. He's mentioned it several, probably 3 times to me. He has, I prayed for him, and I can't remember if I told anybody else to pray with me or not, that he would find the people he needed to help with this. And then he's been waiting for the information that he was trying to get, with his magic mailbox that he talks about in his book. I don't know. I have no idea who's involved. I have no idea what's happening. As I have told you in the past, a couple weeks ago, when I read a chapter out of Larry's book and described some of the things that he has done, where he's described his magic mailbox and how people will pass him information because they're too scared to bring it forward. We know that there are things that Larry does behind the scenes and has always done behind the scenes. I have no clue what he's doing. And we can't ask because it's inappropriate for us to stick our nose in his business. But from what he has said, it sounds like he's got a way to do something that will be absolutely incredible and exciting. And so he wanted me to tell you that he is working on something that is going to bust this case wide open. And that's a quote he said I was allowed to say. So moving forward, he's been watching where he was today. All he had access to, the only information he had access to was CNN. And he saw, and I had seen this morning myself, that Pelosi wants to see Trump in jail. Impeachment isn't enough. She wants him in jail. And Larry has said, Nadler said, I saw Nadler said this morning that there is not enough support to start an impeachment trial right now. There aren't enough people who are, joining in calling for it. But please remember, Larry has told us Pelosi is not reining in against doing an impeachment. What she's reining in is timing. And Larry said, I promise you, they will impeach Trump. Larry has said this since the second week of July, 2016, before Trump even got the nomination for president. He said they are so dead set against him that they will impeach him. And if they can't impeach him, they will find another way to take him out. He doesn't fit in. He's not one of them. He is there to stop their march towards socialism. And so they want him gone. And so the plan is that Pelosi is dragging her feet so that the process of impeachment will happen during the campaign when it will do the most harm to President Trump and hurt the most his chances at election. Now, in my opinion, this is strictly my opinion, I would highly recommend, I did not get permission from Larry to share this, but I would highly recommend that I haven't done it yet, I've been too busy on the phone trying to raise money for this opportunity Larry has. I think we should call, I'm pretty sure the number is 202-456-1111. And we need to leave a comment if you have any opinion on what Trump did at the beginning of the week with the rainbow flag and suggesting that countries around the world need to embrace homosexuality. Give your opinion. He needs to know how we feel about that. All right, so the next thing Larry asked me to talk about was the Mexican tariff. Prices here in the States will go up on items that are affected by any kind of trade tariff. Now, one of the things I heard this morning, and I discussed with Larry, and he concurred, I had heard that there are sugar daddies for some of these senators. McConnell gets 100,000 plus. Mitt Romney, the number I read was 221,000. These senators get big money from the car companies, and so they are not supporting the tariffs against Mexico for that reason, because the old money is working on them, and these senators have pressure being put on them by these companies that provide so much money for their reelection campaign. Now remember, that kind of money for the reelection campaign is one reason the incumbents usually win, because they come with such a huge war chest. Ron, is Mr. Nichols a military veteran? Yes, he was a Green Beret, and he did special ops where 90% of the team did not make it home, and he always did. He calls himself one of the 10%ers because he always made it home. And one reason he stopped doing that and started working for Bill Clinton was because he knew at that point he knew too much, and they would probably on his next mission make sure he didn't come home. So he stopped doing those things. But he is an incredible strategist, and Ron, I can tell you, there was a time when he went. I think he was in Nicaragua. There was a team of 3 who went into the hiked into the jungle, and took on 200 soldiers that were camped there. Come to find out, 20 of them were Cuban, and he hates fighting the Cubans because of how wicked they are. But he thought they were going to be 180 Russians, and there were an additional 20. Those 3 guys, through Larry's strategy, walked into the middle of their camp. Not immediately. They stayed outside for a couple of weeks, and they did a psychological warfare on this encampment, and then they walked into the middle of the camp, and with their backpacks, put their backpacks down on the ground in front of them, stood back to back, the 3 of them, pulled their guns out and started shooting, and they walked out unscathed. He said there were probably 20 that raced into the jungle and got away, but the other 180 didn't live to tell the story, and the 3 of them walked out without a scratch. So we're talking about a very gifted man as far as strategy and survivability. So I mentioned the sugar daddies for the senators. So they are trying to block Trump's efforts to put tariffs on Mexico. Now, one of the things he wanted to remind us of, especially with today being the 75th anniversary of D-Day, is during World War II, people didn't buy tires. People had to make sacrifices for the sake of war. We are going to be called on to make sacrifices for President Trump, to stand behind him, and we need to stand with him. Pay attention to the fact that Mexicans watch CNN. The world watches CNN. So what is said on CNN is what the world thinks about President Trump and the condition of our country. And CNN is letting them know that the Mexican tariffs cannot be sustained, so Trump will not be putting tariffs on Mexico, because old money is squeezing the senators. And so the Mexican president thinks that Trump can't do the tariffs, and that they're being told that CNN is making it sound like the people are against Trump. So Larry said, please spread the word. The tariffs will work. We saw a couple days ago, the Mexican president was starting to act like, with the threat of tariffs, that he was going to do something to help stop the flow into our country of the illegals. And he's backing off of that, apparently. So please, like Larry has said and told us to talk to other people, talk about never socialism, talk about the election, talk about our need to support Trump and why. We need to tell people to be prepared for sacrifice. Even if we have to have a 25% tariff, so be it. We have gotten to a point in this country where greed is so all consuming. God is not pleased with greed. It is one of his things that he hates, one of the things he hates. And, you know, we were such a generous country and we so looked after one another. And now people are so selfish and self-centered, and I know it is harder and harder and harder to make ends meet. I know that. But we have got to stand behind our president. We need to call the White House and let him know that we are standing with him, that we are praying for him, and we've got to spread the word and have other people do likewise. So, does anybody have any other question? I've answered everything that I see in here. I just want to remind people that Larry's PayPal account is nicholslive@aol.com. Anything you can do, anything at all, to help him get this incredible treatment opportunity. We're, like I said, we're $2,000 short of what we need. They are giving him an incredible break because they are going to use him as part of further research because they've never had anybody in their program with the lung disease progressed to the extent that Larry is. But again, it's 95% successful with it, whatever it is they can do. So if you're willing to help, if you need a few more details beyond the conference call in 40 minutes, I can tell you, I don't know much, but what little I know, I'm happy to share and have permission to share. We need to get him into this program. With a 95% cure rate, he has got to have a chance to stay in the game to help President Trump win next year, to help with, you know, a lot of the other elections, and to continue the work he's doing against the deep state, because he has promised that they will fall. They will be prosecuted. Now, whether they get time in jail, you know, Trump is even talking about treason, and you know what the penalty for that is. So, I mean, that's best case scenario in my opinion, but certainly what is deserved. But when I think of the three people who died this week, the Arkansas state senator who was working on the corruption in the Child Protective Services in Arkansas and the connection with the Clinton Foundation, the policeman in New York that supposedly committed suicide. And somebody told me that he was the policeman who had found Wiener's laptop. And then there was a third person who died this week. And, you know, are these Arkancides? I don't know. But like Larry said, when somebody dies and the Clintons benefit, then it's a legitimate conclusion that it's considered an Arkancide. And even if somebody supposedly commits suicide, that doesn't mean that it was self-inflicted. So that's all for today. Thanks for being here. And again, the phone number for the conference call is 712-451-0725. The access code is 492-215#. If you cannot donate something through PayPal, send a text to 240-499-6729. I cannot text back. There's something wrong with my phone right now. I've probably dropped it too many times, or something else is wrong. I don't know. But I can call back. So if you need an alternate way to help Larry. Yes, these people coming from Congo where they have the Ebola is a problem, and we need to shut the border down. I totally agree, Matt, that the border does need to be shut down because they're coming in with wasting disease. Have you seen those pictures? Those are horrible too. So the border issue is huge, and that's why no matter what it costs us in the way of sacrifice, where the prices go up and we can buy less, we all could do with a little less stuff. So we need to support our president and encourage other people to support him too. So thanks for anything and everything you're able to do for Larry. Keep praying about this opportunity that the money will come in. If you can't give, if you can do anything, please do as soon as possible. He was supposed to have the $5,000 by tomorrow morning. We just need another 2,000. We've got, 60% of it raised. So thanks a lot. That's it for now. God bless you, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye.